Astrology columns are widespread and have been around for a surprisingly long time. One of the earliest recorded columnists was 17th century astrologer William Lilly, who is reputed to have predicted the Great Fire of London, albeit 14 years too early. So every time one of my neighbours looks at me with that particular sceptical look, those are the reasons I used to explain myself. The idea behind astrology is that stars and planets have some influence on human affairs and terrestrial events, and horoscopes are astrologers' foretelling of a person's life based on the relative positions of stars and planets. Although I really like astrology, I would never take any life-changing decisions about that. Talking to Helena the other day, she told me that she declines any international flights if it falls on Tuesday the 13th. I've also heard about how people may decide for or against a potential marriage partner based on astrological signs. This happens quite often in India. Some may make rash financial decisions based on predicted good fortune. In research I carried out a few years ago, I tested the hypothesis that people get confused between astrology and astronomy, and if that could account for widespread apparent belief in scientific status of astrology. Even well-respected national newspapers have been known to make this mistake. In the same study, I was interested to look at other explanations of why some Europeans think astrology is scientific and others do not. If one does not have an adequate understanding, it might be difficult to distinguish between science and pseudoscience. When taking a wide range of other factors into account, those who have a university degree and who score highly on a quiz tapping scientific knowledge are less likely to think that astrology is scientific. It might be difficult to distinguish between science and pseudoscience. When taking a wide range of other factors into account, those who believe in God or a spirit of some kind are also more likely to find astrology scientifically credible. The opinions are very different, but certainly Mr. Johnson was a passionate reader of the horoscope since the moment he worked in the army. Learning Morse code and reading about star signs were two of his main passions.